Hello and welcome to this week's Oracle card reading. If you don't know me, my name's Rachel and I will be taking you through everything today. So if you're not familiar and this is your first time checking us out, these readings are a little different than some in that they're really geared towards helping you pursue your life purpose and manifest your dreams. So we pull from 3 decks. We have a main reading, we have an abundance reading, and then we have your personalized reading. So for today's main reading, I'm going to be pulling from the numerology guidance cards from Michelle Buchanan. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Buchanan. I was reading that backwards. Sorry, Michelle. And then for our abundance reading, it's Angels of Abundance from Doreen Virtue. And then for your personalized Law of Attraction card, we'll be pulling from the Law of Attraction cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks, inspired by the teachings of Abraham Hicks. So let's get right into the main reading. And instead of showing you the cards one at a time, I want to show you all 3. So the first card that we pulled was Rebirth. The second is Change. And the third is Spiritual Career. So the rebirth is something either we're going through currently, or maybe we're going through it, but we don't realize we're going through it because it's happening on a very subconscious level, and maybe our fears or our ego is not letting us catch up. But there is a change that is going on. And what this second card tells us is that it's a positive change and not to fear. The number 5 is always associated with change, but it's a positive change. It's a change for your spiritual growth. So what you are being encouraged to do right now is embrace this change. If you have any ideas that come up, but then they're immediately squashed by fear or doubt, then you are being encouraged to really step in to your new ideas and leave the old behind and recognize the fear and the doubt as just blocks, as the old trying to prevent you from embracing this new. And really what this is saying is, if you are able to embrace the change, if you are able to allow this rebirth to happen in your life, you are going to come to a place where you are really pursuing your life purpose. And that's what Spiritual Career card is telling us. Now, this absolutely can be a spiritual career if you are drawn to that. But also this card is telling you that it is your purpose. That is what you are truly meant to do. And it might not seem apparent at first. And it might be something that's been lingering deep inside of you, but you've been telling yourself, no, I can't do it. And I don't even know where I would start. What these 3 cards are telling you this week is to embrace the change, to know that you are not going to know what's next, but to follow your guidance, to follow your steps, because they are leading you to your life purpose. And if you have been drawn to a spiritual career in any way, that could mean a healer, an intuitive, anything, a coach, a consultant, anything, if that's been lingering in the back of your mind, if you've been saying for years, I think this is my path, these cards are telling you this is the week to embrace that change, to pursue it. So let's check out the abundance cards really quick. And I pull one, but so often 2 come out, so maybe I should just start pulling 2. The first card that came was Take Divinely Guided Change. And the second was Unlimited Ideas. So I'm going to read the first one to you. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but is no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. This goes along the line with that rebirth card. It's time to say goodbye to the old. We get stuck in our comfort zone, and it's so natural. But this week, if you want the abundance in your life, you have to step into something new. and it can be scary, and it often is very scary. But just know and trust that your ideas are divinely guided. And talking about ideas, let's go into the unlimited ideas card. And I'll just read that to you really quick, and then we'll talk about how the two really work together. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need is to take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. So I want you to just look at this card for a second in the picture. She's looking up. She's allowing guidance to come to her. And you know, the first one with the two children, it's like having that childlike curiosity. Whenever you're a kid, you don't have that fear. You know, that's why you get hurt so much. But you learn and you grow and you have the best experiences whenever you're a kid because you just do it. You don't second guess yourself. And if you get hurt and you get a bruise or a scrape, you get up, you put a Band-Aid on it, and then you go back to play and you go back to having fun. That's what you are encouraged to do this week. First, I think these cards are really telling us to go within and get in touch with our own personal divine guidance. And secondly, to adopt that childlike nature, to just go for it, to search for the fun and not allow that fear and all the what ifs to creep in and to stop us. So we've been told by the numerology cards, this is the time to do it. And also by the abundance cards, if you have not reached that abundance you're looking for, these are your action steps. So let's get into your own personalized reading now. What I'm going to do is pull from the Esther Hicks, or Abraham Hicks, Law of Attraction cards. I'm going to show you each one very quickly, and I want you to go with your divine guidance. We're going to practice this since that's what we're going to be working on this week. Go with your divine guidance of which one you want. I'm going to show you 3 cards just very quickly. I'm going to cover up the messages, and you pick which one automatically resonates with you. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. Okay, so if you pulled card number 1, this one right here, I'll read the message. It says, I cannot create in the experience of another. And I'll read what the back says. You cannot create in the experience of another because you cannot think their thoughts. What you can do for them is set the example of joy. Become a being who thinks only of that which you are wanting, who speaks only of that which you are wanting, and who does only of that which you are wanting, and therefore brings forth only joyful emotions. I feel like if you pulled this card, something that's holding you back is either somebody in your life who you're worried about, or just generally being worried about what others will think. And what this card is telling you is to trust your divine guidance, and everybody's on their own individual journey. And those who align with your vision will flock to you once you follow your purpose. You will be setting an example for so many. And if you fear that people in your life will not get it, then just keep in mind you are setting that example. And they might not really understand your work, but once they see you following your dreams and your passion, and they see that abundance coming in, or you reaching that success, or reaching that happiness, whatever fulfillment is to you, when others in your life see you actually reaching it, you are setting an example for them. You will be inspiring them. Also, if there's somebody in your life who you are worried about and really concerned about, what this card is telling you is to, again, trust your divine guidance. Do what is good for you, and your actions, following your path, will help them more than anything you can do for them or say to them. Okay, let's get into the second card. Now this says, if you could pick card number 2, I can deliberately reach for joyous thoughts. Let me read the back. In seeking and finding joy, you not only find perfect alignment with your inner being and with who you really are, but you also find vibrational alignment with all things that you desire. When joy is really important to you, you will not allow yourself to focus upon things that do not feel good. And the result of thinking only thoughts that feel good will then cause you to create a wonderful life filled with things that you desire. If you picked this card, then what this is telling you to do is you need to focus this week on feeling good. If you are a little conflicted on what your purpose is, what your next steps are, if you're in the right direction, focusing on what makes you feel good will open your mind up, will open your intuition up, the third eye up, to receive this guidance. What we so often do is we try and think so hard, like, what is it I should do? What's my next step? You're thinking, and you're blocking that guidance because your ego takes over, your fear takes over, your logic takes over. If you picked card number 2, this week you want to be very careful not to get into that state. And anytime you do, I encourage you to find something that you enjoy. Really focus on affirmations this week. Really focus on feeling good about yourself, developing that confidence in yourself, doing something just for you, whether that is getting out in nature or, arts and crafts or art or writing, whatever that is your focus this week. And as you do that, your next steps, your divine guidance will naturally come to you. You can't force it. The only way to open yourself up is to be open and to do what you enjoy and to get into that alignment and that high vibration so this guidance just effortlessly comes to you. And let's finally go with the third card. So if you pick card number 3, the message is, I can change my life by changing my thoughts. And I'll read it. By choosing a thought that feels slightly better than the thoughts you've been thinking, you can gradually change the direction of your thoughts. By focusing upon a better feeling thought, the law of attraction will respond to that thought, and therefore a balance of your thoughts will now improve. Wow, that was so similar to the second card. There's definitely a theme going on here. If you pick this one, it's telling you this week to really be careful of your thoughts. Anytime that you have thoughts that are of a low vibration, that means fear, that means doubt, that means second guessing, that means having to know all the answers and not trusting. That is your sign you're not in alignment. So just like if you pick the second card, focusing on those affirmations, doing some meditation, just picking thoughts that build you up, that give you encouragement, even if you are currently in a place where you're not financially where you want to be, even if you're currently in a place where you don't like the line of work that you're in, or you're a little confused of what your next steps are. Don't focus on the current situation, but do everything you can this week to align your thoughts with where you want to be. Speak words of affirmations. You develop the mindset that you are already living the life that you plan to live and that you will be living once we get into this alignment and follow our guidance. And anytime a fearful thought or an indecisive thought comes in, I encourage you to pick an affirmation to override that thought, to send that thought love, but then combat it almost with an affirmation. And these can be very simple, that I choose abundance, I am abundant, I am living my life purpose, I am on the right path, I am open and receptive to divine guidance. Just pick one or two and repeat it to yourself over and over again, especially when you're having those naysaying thoughts. Okay, so that is all for this week. It's very exciting. It's a time of transformation. It's a time of change. I encourage you to embrace it and see where this path leads. There's some more information down below, links to my website and meditations and other things that I offer. I also have a business type course for those of you who are ready to turn your passions into a business, but you have no idea where to start. I have a program that's specifically for you. So if you're interested, there's also a free component of it that you can check out below. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week.